used to play NBA Jam. Like I used to play the nuts out of that back in the day. I used to love
too.
me. He's on fire.
He's on fire. And I love how you still say play the nuts out of it. Yeah, you play the nuts out of it.
Well, that's kind of interesting actually. It's one of these games as well that's had actually quite a lot of it's always getting a lot of like press regardless, like one way or another. Be it, they've obviously recently, because of the new Space Jam movie, which I'm so hyped for, by the way. I love the original Space Jam.
Listen, the fact that it's tough, isn't it? It's a tough one to follow. I think that sequels are very difficult, and Michael Jordan was a once in a lifetime megastar. He's like, when you actually think back to like the 90s and the stars that came out of it, you look at your likes of Michael Jackson, and I don't know. When you think of, there are so many, like Prince, like, do you know the top level? And then you think like Elvis and like top level superstars. Michael Jordan was one of those, right? LeBron, he's amazing. He's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Does he have the same aura as Michael Jordan? I'd probably say probably not. Will the world go out to see him in a movie? I don't know. If you're not a Lakers fan, do you care? Nah, I'm not sure. But luckily you got Bugs in there, so I'll be going.
Yeah. Tell me, by the way, you watched The Last Dance last year, the documentary about Jordan.
Listen,
bro, I don't think there's a better documentary I've ever seen. I think it's probably one of the best documentaries I've ever seen.
It was one of those, wasn't it, where like the episode would finish and it was one of those where you would count down the minutes until the next episode.
Oh my God, I'm with you. And just for you guys who joining us here as well, like with when it comes to like things like sport, obviously Ian and I are big sports guys, multi sports as well, not just football, but I guess both of us kind of like to keep our ear to the ground across all sports.
For sure.
And with basketball, like I've always been like, I used to play NBA Jam, like I used to play the nuts out of that back in the day. I used to love me. He's on fire.
He's on fire. And I love how you still say play the nuts out of it. Yeah, you play the nuts out of that game.
Or there was always just the odd boom shakalaka for no reason. I don't know why that was. That was a thing. But NBA Jam was so good back in the day, and you always would look at like the Bulls and like you had like Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
You have like Muggsy Bogues for Charlotte Hornets and Patrick Ewing for like the Knicks. All these classic video game characters, which at the time, not being a massive basketball fan, I was more football when I was younger. But then suddenly seeing this documentary that kind of all those people, it brings them to life like completely. Like in a human aspect, like these are real people, and not just kind of like you remember from who used to kind of break the glass in a video game all those years ago. Dude, I was totally enamored by not only the basketball world, but like Jordan he's built different.
He's a different breed of human being.
Different.
He is built different.
And the way that kind of winning mentality, it's so rare to see someone who is that dedicated to anything, but to see it in a sporting respect, and I had no idea about like you kind of like look at the Rocky movies, and you see the kind of progression of Rocky, and you kind of go, okay, it's fiction, but it's like it's cool. That actually happened to Jordan, like that was his life.
The thing is, Sav, right? If me and you had 5% of whatever that is, that drive that Michael Jordan had, and you listening, if you had 5% of it, you could probably achieve everything you want in the entire world. He had 100% of it. Like it was just crazy. And when he was supposed to be down and out, he was never down and out, and he just kept coming back and just winning. Anyway, we could talk about Michael Jordan forever.
We could. I
just want to touch on one last thing. Have you seen these 1-up arcade machines that you can get? These new ones that have been re-released. So like, I bought.
No.
Oh really?
Nice.
So like, do you know the arcade machines that you get in an arcade? Joysticks and all that sort of stuff.
Yes, I've seen arcade machines.
You've seen
an
them
arcade.
Yes,
I have. Yes, yeah.
Wow. So like you can buy them at a decent price, and you can have them in your home. But put on by this brand called 1-up Arcades or something like that. And I got a Mortal Kombat 1. It has Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 on it, and it's in my living room right now. It's one of the joys of being single. I don't have to compromise any of my space. My brother got the NBA Jam one, and I'm so jealous because not only has he got an NBA Jam arcade machine in his living room, it's got online capabilities.
What, mate?
So you can play with other people on their arcade machines in their homes playing NBA Jam.
That is niche though. There can't be loads of people like queuing up in the lobby going, please let me get a game.
He just has it on for like a couple of hours until someone joins.
every 6 day it pings and he's like, no way. And it's like, oh, they've dropped off.